wait for people to come on. I'm just gonna go for it because baby is sleeping and I want to get this done before he wakes up. So I hope that you can hear me good. I hope everybody can hear me. So for the new people, I'm Kardaya, so you can call me Kardaya. If you can't remember that, you can call me KK. And I have been married for 8 years. I have had 7 pregnancies, and I just had our second child. Our daughter was stillborn, and our son is about to be 4 months in a week. So the bring y'all up speed. Welcome, Shalom, Hola. What else? Mambo, Jumbo. Thank y'all for joining me. I'm so happy y'all. I'm in a great headspace. I had some assignments due for school. I'm in culinary arts school. For those of you who don't know, that's going to be over on our family channel. I'll be talking about that and giving y'all updates. So if you would like to know how that's going, then come follow me. I'm a spiritual wellness coach, your neighborhood spiritual wellness coach. I am an author. I have a book out right now in my store. I'll put the links in the description for everything that I talk about in this live. The links will get put in the description. Eventually, y'all have to give me like an hour or so. I got a fresh baby. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes stuff gets sidetracked. So, anyhow, um, I help to heal people. That's what I am here for. And if you can use any of my services, I create reprogrammings to help you to live a balanced life via your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit. And my mission is to lead people back to the Most High Yah, Basham Yashawai, or in the name of His Son. Okay, so yeah, I came to talk about my our our supernatural, unassisted home water birth. I was gonna put this back to doing it another time, but y'all, after I got my assignment done the other day, I just had so much lifting up off of me because I had such a heavy workload. I had to repot over 100 plants, and it was just a lot. It was just a lot. I had a lot to do, and once I got that done, the plants were all planted, and I have this time now to get this done. So, um, where am I gonna start? Okay, so first of all, y'all, I always know when I'm pregnant. I always know when I'm pregnant. Like I always know when I'm pregnant, but this time it kind of snuck up on me. But this is the reason why. So a um, I had a what is it called? A blighted ovum, and that pregnancy lasted for 10 weeks, and then it ended at 10 weeks. My belly started to kind of react to the pregnancy, but there was no baby in the sac. There was just an empty sac. Thank you so much, Ari. Blessings. So that pregnancy ended on May the 21st of last year. So I didn't know that I was pregnant again. I got pregnant the next month. I don't know how many weeks away it was. All I know is that I started feeling kind of funny, but I thought that it was the effects of the hormones from the pregnancy that had just ended in May. So I said, you know what? I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. We weren't gonna tell anybody because we had just had a failed pregnancy, and that was pregnancy number 6. Because this baby is baby number 2, but pregnancy number 7. So me and my husband decided that we weren't going to tell anybody. Push came to shove, the word got out. We are very old fashioned, so we didn't do a baby shower before the baby came. We decided to wait for that because the Messiah didn't get his gifts until he was born. They bought the gifts to him. So let's fast forward to the experience of the pregnancy. While I was pregnant, it was fantastic. I cannot lie. I had some areas where I was uncomfortable, but it was never like, oh my God, I'm tired of being pregnant. I'm ready to get this baby out. It never happened like that. Um, so yeah, I went through the pregnancy. It was pretty nice. Towards the end, it was getting kind of hard because it was hard for me to. I felt like I was so ugly. Like my nose was huge. My nose ain't small now, but it was really big, and I was just having self-esteem issues towards the end of my pregnancy. But all the way through this pregnancy, what I want to let y'all know is that I did my best to stay positive. I did my best to not run my husband away with my anger, and I did my best to not gain a humongous amount of weight. I gained. I started off at 165. I was 193, 193 and a half whenever I gave birth. So I want to tell y'all to stand on what you say. Don't let the doctors, don't let the nurses, don't let your family in your spirit and it's steady digging at you. Then you need to do what you're obviously being told to do. And I was being told to have my baby at home. All the way through this situation, through this process, people were fighting me. I could feel people fighting me in the spirit. My husband didn't feel very sure about it, but he never beat me down about it. But I just went to the Most High and I asked him to speak to my husband and let him know whether this was for us to do. And I also told him to show him a sign. The reason why I asked for the sign is because whenever I talked to my husband about what the Most High said to him, we um, we couldn't come to a sound agreement on what to do moving forward. Um, so I said, Father, show us a sign of whether we need to have this baby at home or not. And that's what the Most High did. So the sign that I got was I ran into this lady. Y'all, she was dark chocolate. I'm talking about dark chocolate. She had gray eyes and she was 80, 89, I think, no, 84 years old. She told me, first of all, let me tell you how I encountered her so y'all can know the divineness of the situation. So, um, I was getting out of the car at Dollar General, and there was this lady in this SUV. She was an older lady, so I couldn't see her getting in and out of that truck. And my spirit was just drawn to her, and I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, but all the while, I'm still looking for a sign inside of my mind because I prayed this prayer like a day or two earlier. So, um, whenever I whenever I got out of the car, she called me to her, and I was like, okay, because I usually talk to people, y'all. I usually talk to anybody that the spirit will allow me to talk to. So I walked over to her, and she did me like this. So she was like, what you looking for? And I was like, what you mean? And she was like, what you looking for? And I was like, nothing. She was like, I'm talking about what you having. And I was like, oh, it's a boy. A while, but this is the main thing out of the story that I want you to get. That she told me she had 12 children, all of them at home with a midwife. 12 children. Every last one of her children are still living today. None of them are disabled, except for one passed away during COVID. That was my sign. I felt so calm about this situation after that. So we went into doing it. Okay, so let's push to the like 3 days before, no, a week before I was supposed to have my baby. Now, there's a reason why I didn't want to have my baby in the hospital. First of all, it was because I had a terrible experience, like a real terrible experience with the first baby that I had. The doctor came in, shoved his hand up in my crotch. My husband was so upset about it. He didn't even talk to me. I didn't know this man. It wasn't my doctor because I didn't have a doctor. I have a video on my channel about this. But it was a bad experience and I didn't want to go back through that. Okay. So a week before I was supposed to have my baby, I go into the doctor and they were fighting me tooth and nail. Fighting me tooth and nail, trying to get me to get induced at 39 weeks. But that's not what the Most High said. He said, be fruitful and multiply. He said to get pregnant and carry your baby for the amount of time that it carries out to. He didn't say go in and get induced. So I didn't argue with them. I came home and I prayed about it. And whenever I went back to the doctor again, I said I didn't want to be induced, and they said fine. Okay, so like 3 days before I was due to go into labor, I had a doctor's appointment. So I was feeling pressure, and like I said, I already had one baby, but she was still born, and she was very small. She was very, very small, and I had her at 6 months. So I go in to get my checkup, and I told him, I can feel his head between my pelvic bones. And the great thing about this pregnancy that made it so blessed, all the way through this thing, I had the most chill child, y'all. He is the most chill baby. Side note, ask the Most High for what kind of children you want. Ask him for those qualities. Put it into the atmosphere, write it down. That's what I did. I have the type of baby that I prayed for. My child has the characteristics that I wrote down and that I asked for in a baby, because this is what the Most High said do. Ask him for what you want and he'll give you your desires. So he stayed head down through the whole situation. The whole time that I was pregnant, this baby had his head down to let me know I am not coming out breech. His sister was breech, and I was kind of not scared. I wasn't scared. I just didn't want to have another breech birth. Not that it was bad. I just didn't want it. And he stayed head down from month 1 through month 9, and I had him at 9 months and 3 days. So when I went to the doctor at that last doctor's appointment and I told him that I could feel him, they were trying to give me a bad report because he wouldn't move his hand so that they could check this. And I was like, ain't nothing wrong with my baby. I'm not about to get ready to get worked up. Devil. Adversary is what I mean when I say devil, y'all. I'm not about to get worked up. The Most High done already told me that this baby was coming. I had confirmation. He showed me this child in my dreams. I held him in my dreams. I knew what he looked like before I even had him, because the Father allowed me to see him before I was even like 6 months pregnant. He showed me this baby in a dream. So they gave me induction papers because they were trying to get me to get induced again, even though I said I didn't want to be induced. Well, you can't have him after 41 weeks, and if you go to 42, you need to have him, because they were trying to paint me as this extreme natural Bible girl who believes in God so much that she's willing to put herself and her baby in danger. But child, this medical system is about money. This medical system is about money. Okay, so anyway, I told them I didn't want to be induced, but they can give me the paper anyway, and I took the paper home. So I was due to have the baby 2 or 3 days later. What ended up happening is, I was due to have him on the 11th, and I had him on the 6th. So what ended up happening was I went back home that night after the doctor's appointment, and I was in the kitchen, and I heard the Spirit say, I better drink this cayenne pepper. That's the way my spirit talks to me. I better drink this cayenne pepper, because I was taking cayenne pepper to keep my blood pressure at a great point. They were trying to give me blood pressure medicine, and they even sent me to a high-risk doctor. And the doctor was like, you don't need to come here, because I had my baby at 36 years old. Okay, so they were trying to send me for high risk, and they were trying to put all these labels on me. But I went in the kitchen to take the cayenne pepper, and I heard I'm probably gonna have this baby tonight. So okay, we was locked and loaded. So that was Tuesday night. I went into labor. Okay, now let me pause right there because I try not to ping pong back and forth, but I have side notes that I have to give you throughout the story. One major thing that I did to make this supernatural, this discussion, this part right here is very important if you don't hear anything else out of this live. The way I made this birth supernatural is I prayed. Before I got pregnant, I prayed through pregnancy, and I wrote down exactly what I wanted. I was getting anxious towards the end of the pregnancy. And one day, I heard the Spirit say, write it down and make it plain. Write down what you want. So I was like, this is a birth. Y'all, I have manifested so many things. I don't know why I go back and forth with the raw KARADYAH'S whenever it tells me to do something. But I kind of did it slowly, but I wrote down the exact type of birth that I wanted. And I should have bought the paper, y'all, but oh, wait a minute. Look at here. I do have it. So, y'all, the Father just is amazing. So I wrote down how I wanted my birth to go, and I'm going to read it to y'all. I got to find it right quick. Okay. So it says, the birth of baby Timothy Ashar. Baby Ashar was born on March 9th, 2024, because he was due on the 9th. I thought I was going to have him on the 11th, yeah, but he was due on the 9th. So I wrote that down, and I said he was 7 pounds 8 ounces, measuring 23 inches in length. Baby Ashar's labor and delivery lasted for a little over 8 hours. Ashar was born in the mid-afternoon hours without complications, neither obstacles with him or me. No interventions needed. His birth took place at home, where he was born into the water. Daddy was there to deliver him. My water broke, then things moved quickly. Everyone in the room was supportive, happy, calm, and praying, faithful hearts and minds. Everyone's heavenly staff stood watch and assisted when and where they were needed. There was praise and dancing in the atmosphere. The Rawak HaKodesh was leading and guiding us all the way. Daddy was very involved in the birth process. He was eager to help. Every birth wave was felt with tolerable grace. I was amazed by the ease of mind I possessed during Ashar's birth. I could feel his progressions and movements. Hold on, y'all. Let me get my baby. Oh, don't cry, my baby. Don't cry. I'm right here. Y'all, here's the man of the hour. Don't cry, baby. Mommy didn't leave you. I'm sorry about that, y'all. I could feel his progressions and movements as he made his way into his new life. Nothing could stop the faith that I was using to healthily birth our baby. Even during times of struggle, when I had to reach for strength, I was able to embrace the things that I was feeling. This gave me immense power to push through with encouraging feelings. My body was producing large doses of oxytocin. Happiness was literally flowing through my veins. I had no fears before, during, or after our healthy delivery of our baby boy Ashar. All of his vitals, breathing, and reactions were normal. Also, my vitals and breathing were great. I had no ripping, no tearing, no hemorrhaging, and my blood pressure was pumping perfectly. Now we have been blessed with a beautiful, flawless, healthy, happy, befitted by Yah baby boy named Timothy Ashar. Tawadayah for our healthy delivery and baby boy Basham Yashawai. Okay. So, oh yeah, and this is the rest of it. I used hypnobirthing affirmations and prayers to help to ease my pains, to control You okay? You okay? To control my emotions, my state of mind, and to help me to be in a meditative state of mind during hard times. The angels helped me whenever I called, and they never left my side. I snacked, which I didn't eat, but this is what I wrote. I snacked on bananas, apples, and pineapples, and drank coconut water to replenish my energy. Everyone stayed on a happy high note and encourage a comfortable, high vibrational atmosphere. The spirit said, write it down and make it plain. Write down what you want. So I wrote it out, and this is the picture that was painted with what I wrote. Okay, so out of all of this stuff that I wrote on here, this part, y'all, is very important. This part of this live is very important. Out of all the stuff that I wrote down on here, every last bit of it happened exactly that way. The only thing that was different was his weight and his length was different. I had him in the morning instead of the afternoon. He was born at 11:48. I in the part about the tearing, I did have I had to get like 4 stitches. But other than that, let's see what else. Let's break down the letter right quick. It's some things in here that I want to give you. Oxytocin. I studied, one thing that helped me was studying oxytocin and its effects on you having a baby, y'all. My husband would give me with me because we saw this in a video the night before. I got my husband to watch this video of me. One of the sisters from our community pushed out an 11-pound baby. It was their 8th or 9th baby. She put her foot up on the toilet and she pushed that baby out with regular pains, but it wasn't unbearable. It was really a supernatural birth. And her baby, the scale said 10 pounds 16 ounces. Her baby was 11 pounds. Her husband stood in the bathroom and they swayed back and forth through every contraction. They hugged each other, they loved each other, they kissed each other. You know what I'm saying? And it helps oxytocin to flow. You cannot feel pain and pleasure at the same time. So whenever I would have a contraction, my husband would give me kisses or whatever. He'll talk to me, hug me, and we would sway back and forth hugging. And y'all, the contractions would not feel bad, y'all. Once I got to the peak of it, it couldn't peak. It couldn't get real bad because I was feeling pleasure. The hormones, the chemicals that was being released inside of me were pleasure hormones. That does work. The next thing that I want to tell you about is whenever you have a baby in the water, it is really nature's epidural. My birth was slowing down because I was in the water, and I remember that it got to a point to where it became stagnant. I was doing my affirmations and I was talking to the angels, asking them to help me out here and there and to tell me what to do and this and that. And there was nobody there but me and my husband, and he didn't stay in the bathroom with me. I didn't keep him in there with me the whole time. Even once I went into labor that Tuesday night, I let my husband sleep, and I was even able to get a little bit of sleep while I was going through the contractions. And the reason why I was able to do that and to also go through this pregnancy so easy, this birth, is because I learned breathing techniques that helped me. I'm sorry. Oh, it's okay. I love you. Okay? I love you very much. But yeah, I knew how to do breathing exercises to help me up and down every birth wave, is what I called it. I substituted words like contractions for words like birth wave and yeah, birth wave. That's the word that I use. Those are the words that I use most often. So I didn't think of it as just these painful contractions that were hitting me, but I was also in the water. So once it got to the process where it seemed like it was slowing down and I needed some help, I asked the angels what to do, and I could hear the spirit say, you need to get out of that water. So I got out of the tub eventually. I didn't do it at first because it was keeping me from feeling the real bad contractions, you know. So once I did get out, I started feeling things progress. So that's what I want to tell you about the water. Water can slow down the birth process if you are not careful. So the other thing that I did to make this birth supernatural is I talked to the angels all the way through this. All the way through this. Anytime I felt like, okay, I'm not going to call my husband in here right now because I really don't need him. But this contraction is kind of tough. I would talk to the angels and ask them what to do to help me. And they would tell me what to do every time. Okay. The other thing that I did was I used affirmations. I'm going to put all of the people who I got affirmations from, all of the people who I got information on how to have the baby, how to have the baby in a supernatural way and to ease pains. Y'all, I did not have a whole lot of terrible pain. It wasn't that kind of experience. It was just normal pains. I could feel the baby coming down. I knew when his head was coming down. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to get to all of that. I just want to give y'all these little facts from what I wrote down. And the other thing that I did was I prayed. I prayed through this and I praised. I danced. I listened to my Afro beats, my Nigerian music, my Ghanaian music. I listened to that, and I praised the Most High. The very first thing that I did is I set up candles and I used aromatherapy. Those things right there that I just named out, that discussion that we just had, is how I made things supernatural. The way I made things easier. I studied YouTube and women who were having babies at home, and they got me to where I needed to be at. I don't have time to break it all down to y'all right now, but what I do have time to do is to put the information in the description. Give me a little bit of time, and every last one of these people that I send y'all to, y'all will see good husbands helping out. Y'all will see good wives helping out. Family members helping out, and you will see wives helping themselves to have babies. My husband didn't have to hold my hand through this situation all the way through. A lot of stuff I already knew. I could do stuff on my own. I could handle situations on my own because I studied. If you are not studying having a baby in the year 2024, then you are not serious about this and you're trying to get induced. You're trying to get a C-section. They were trying to even get me to get a C-section. So yeah, that's the way I made things easier. And I worked on my mind, y'all. I did a lot of mental work. I have had 7 pregnancies, and this is the successful one. You know what I'm saying? So I had to work on my mind. I had to get rid of fear and all of that. So on top of that, let me go ahead and give y'all the experience, and then I'm going to let y'all go. So like I was saying in the beginning before I started breaking things down, I forgot I had to do that. I went into labor Tuesday night, and I knew I was going to go into labor because I had went to the doctor. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So when things kicked off, I went in the bathroom because I heard the spirit say I should go ahead and set up for the labor because I think I'm in labor. So I didn't alarm my husband, nothing like that, but I did tell him about what was going on. And I went in the bathroom and I ran the water and I set up my candles and I sprayed the aromas around. You know what I'm saying? I dropped my essential oils in and I started to prepare myself to have the baby. So once I got into the water, no, first I started out on the toilet because I had diarrhea. I don't know about how y'all go through labor, but I usually have diarrhea first. So I'm going for from the toilet to the room, from the toilet to the room. And that went on for probably about 20 minutes of labor. By this time, after the diarrhea and everything, my contractions were like 3 to 5 minutes apart. And they were lasting maybe anywhere from 2 minutes to like 30 seconds long or whatever. So inside of my mind, I was just watching I was watching the time of the contractions, and I was doing my breathing exercises to go up and down the contractions, and it made the pain not so bad. I believe the worst part of this birth was the diarrhea and throwing up. So anyway, I ended up getting into the tub and things kicked off, and y'all know how that go. Contractions, contractions, contractions. My husband was fantastic with coming in and helping me, hugging me, kissing me. And you know, this might not be something that people think of, but if you having a baby and you rub your nipples, it will release oxytocin, and it will give you the feel good hormone, and it will make your contractions not be so bad. Like, this really does work. This worked for me. It blew my mind that it worked for me. So yeah, my husband would come in on and off, and he was like, "Babe, you ready to go to the hospital now?" And I was like, no, I'm not planning on going to the hospital. So out of consideration, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm trying to get this together. Out of consideration for my husband, I told him Most High, I was like, Father, maybe I should go to the hospital. So I'm standing in the kitchen talking to the Most High about this. And the next thing I know, it started thundering and lightning so bad. I'm talking about, as soon as I said that, it was storming outside already, but it was raining so much, y'all. We live on dirt roads. Like, we can't go out there like that and be traveling like that. So that was letting me know, no, you're going to have this baby at home, because it was to the glory of the Most High. Because don't forget, I told y'all about how the doctors and the nurses were acting. They act like the Father didn't have the power. Like, you can't get a soul without the Most High. And he told me to have this baby at home. And that's what it was. So I had a plan for my mama and my auntie and my sister to come out there, and my godmother. Y'all, it was raining and storming so bad, and all of them was sick. My auntie's daughter had COVID, so she couldn't come. So the Most High wanted us to be here alone. So I went through the contractions and things, and like I said, I used my affirmations to keep my mind strong. I said scriptures, I shall live and not die, and declare the works of Yahweh. And just scriptures to give me strength. And I would bring the Most High's word back to him and let him know how he said that he'll give me my heart's desire, and how if I follow his will and his way, he'll give me the blessings and not the curses, because we're the children of Israel. So, you know what I'm saying? He made promises to our forefathers. He made promises to us. And so I leaned on that, and it gave me strength. The angels were really there with me the whole time. Anything I asked for, see, you have angels, but those angels are not going to step in and just do things for you. They have rulership over us, because the Most High left them in rulership over us. But at the same time, they come at your call. They help when you ask them. If you lose something, you say, "Angels, will you please remind me where I put my such and such and such?" All you got to do is be still and listen. Or either, if you're walking around still looking, angels don't usually speak audibly, okay, but the spirit does, the Holy Spirit does, or whatever spirit is there with you at the time. You want to say hey to the people, baby, or you just want to whine? I'm not giving you enough attention. Y'all, I love him so much. I waited over 20 years to have this baby. So anyway, let me take you through to whenever I felt him coming. So this is where it gets hard, y'all. I didn't have one of those parts of my labor where you get real cold, and I did have that when I had our daughter, but not with this baby. It wasn't the same way. But I did have the point to where I felt like, okay, Father, I need you to help me get on through this, because things are lagging a little bit. But whenever I got to that point, that's whenever I prayed and I said, Father, I need you to tell me what to do to get this pregnancy progressing, because it was like I was at a standstill. I could feel his head constantly coming down, but y'all, it was like a little peanut. So I was like, what is that? I don't know what that is. I'm up here thinking that it's the sac, but the baby is inside of the sac. So like, what is this little, it was long. His head was long when it came out. So I was like, okay, I heard the spirit say that's the baby head. So what I did was, because remember I told you I was out of the tub, I got back inside of the tub and I squatted to push him down, but he went back up again. So I called my husband in there eventually towards the end of all of that travailing. I called my husband in there and I told him, I said, I think the baby about to come. So he was like, oh, snap, baby. You know what I'm saying? He was like, babe, I'm sorry, because this happened. Well, you still can get pregnant. Look, I have a program called Let's Make Us a Baby, and I help people get pregnant. If you email me KARADYAH'S@gmail.com, then I can help you or whatever. We can talk, set up a consultation, but you just need y'all power to get a baby. You need y'all power. And I'll tell y'all more about that later. But let me keep going. So yeah, after I went through all of the hard parts, it got to the real hard part, the very end before he got ready to come out. And all I did was engage everything that I had learned over these 9 months, all of the people that I talked to, all of the books that I read. Hey, tranquila. Y'all give me 1 second. 1 second. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't pinch you. Don't cry like that. I didn't pinch you. Oh. Okay. Está bien. Yeah. You okay. You okay. Don't let the people think that I pinched you. Screaming like that, boy. What's the matter with you? What's the matter with that baby? All right, y'all. I can talk to you about that too. There are ways to fix things. You know what I'm saying? The Most High, he'll help you get rid of things that the doctor tells you that you can't get rid of. But blocked tubes is not impossible. You still a young woman. So reach out to me and let me talk to you and tell you what happened to me. I had a blocked tube also. I've had a baby that was stuck in my tube, and I had another one that was growing out of the side of my uterus. So just email me or email me. Send me your contact information, however. I'm all over the internet, okay? All right. Blessings. So, yeah, pushing forward. I felt him coming down, but he kept going back up. So I squatted, and I could hear inside of me, you got to learn how to bear down. So I don't know how many of y'all come from the Christian church like I did. And I still praise the Most High. Baby, I stuck a hole in the floor in here dancing by myself. So anyway, so it said you got to learn how to bear down. So there's this song that says, this means war. And in the beginning of the song, he says, sometimes you got to learn how to bear down. And I was like, Father, what I got to do to get this baby out of me? And I was like, no, I didn't say it that many times. I only asked the Most High that like twice. I was like, but it feels like I need to push, but I don't want to forcefully push because I want this to be as natural of a process as possible. I want him to come out on his own because you have a reflex that will push the baby out for you. So whenever the time came, I kept on hearing, you got to learn how to bear down. And I was like, okay, so I got it, Father. I know what you're trying to tell me to do. You okay? Y'all, he's so tired. But yeah, so every time I felt like I needed to push and I would hear that, I would bear down. So I was not, I wasn't like, none of that. It was more, it was probably more like the first sound that I made. It was a hard grunt. But I pushed what I did was I took a deep breath in my nose, and I would push air down. It's okay, baby. I got time for you. The people can wait. Okay? I got time for you. Okay? But anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. Hello. How you doing? But what I did was I learned how to breathe the baby down. And breathing the baby down and also breathing in I did in 8 seconds because I'm a singer and I will blow out as long as I can. That's a breathing exercise that I learned, but it's also for pregnancy, but it's usually 4 in and 8 out. But yeah, I did the breathing exercises and it helped me to breathe the baby down so he will move down versus me pushing him down. And once I breathed down into myself and outward, I could see it in my mind, and he would come down, he would move down every time I did that. And whenever I heard, sometimes you got to learn how to bear down, then I would bear down with a, my husband was like, babe, I'm sorry. I was like, no, that is fine. It's fine. So after I pushed like 3 times, his head was at the door. And all I did was stick my hand down there between my legs because I was squatted like in a catcher's position with my one hand on the side of the tub. And I just put my hand down there, and I grunted one last time. And I breathed him out. In the videos that I give you, go through these ladies' channels, and one of them, I think it's not Emma Hubbard. Oh my goodness, I can't remember her name. But just look at the videos about the breathing techniques when you're having a baby, and you'll find it's a lot of women who talk about it. But I breathe down into myself. It's kind of like what you do whenever you're having a doula. So if you're having a baby and you want to practice this, you're gonna breathe in, and then you're gonna push. You tighten your belly muscles, pull them in is what I was doing. I would pull my belly muscles in and I would breathe down like I'm breathing and pushing the baby down with my breath and my stomach muscles. And he came on down. I stuck my hand down there. His head came out after I bared down that 4th time. It was either the 3rd or the 4th time because I didn't push but 3 or 4 times. And his head landed in my head. I let him go in the water. He went down in the water and came up, and my husband reached down and pulled him out. Y'all, I wish I could have recorded the whole thing so y'all could have seen how this baby came out with his eyes wide open. He was looking like, I was like, hey, baby, how you doing? So my husband gave it to me. He was like, oh, babe, we did it, babe. I was like, yes. But y'all, my phone is dying, y'all, and my baby is losing his patience. So I might come back and talk about this some more, y'all. If y'all have any questions, y'all let me know. But I want to say this before I go. It was so much joy, and I felt so much achievement after I did this. And all the glory and the praise goes to the Most High, because I could have never done this without him. I come from an old-fashioned country background. I think he want me to be quiet, y'all. Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. I love him so much, y'all. I don't know what else to say. But, yeah. Things become supernatural whenever you put the Most High at the head of it and you put him in it. You cannot get a soul without the Father. I followed his blueprint. I put to the side everything that anybody had to say, including my husband, but I was not defiant towards him. I talked through things with him. I encouraged him to read the baby books. I listened to podcasts with him. Even when he didn't want to hear it, I put forth the effort. And he eventually went along with it. Y'all, it was beautiful, and my husband didn't regret it. You know what I'm saying? I'll come back and I'll talk to y'all about the hospital experience. It was not the greatest, so y'all stay tuned for that. But all in all, whenever my baby came out, I didn't have to push him out. He came out in the water like a fish, y'all. He went down there because we got a deep bathtub. He went down in there and came out. And y'all, let me tell y'all, I forgot to tell y'all this. My husband painted our child's room. Our YouTube channel is Sasha and We, SASHAANDWE, all one word. You can go and see how my husband painted the room. It's like an African safari, the whole entire room. And he said, watch, as soon as I get, he was like, Junior probably ain't came yet because I've not finished with the room. Y'all, as soon as he finished that room, I went into labor the next night. So everything that I put into the atmosphere happened. With my husband saying that right there, it put in my mind, in his mind, to get the room finished so the baby can come in the world. And he did it, and the baby came. I wrote down, if you weren't here at the beginning of this live, go back and go back and watch the important parts. The part that I said is the most important, because that's where I gave you the bulk of the information of how I had a supernatural birth. What I did to make it supernatural. What did I do to make it easy? Okay. Hearing about the process is all good. Y'all, the experience was great, but y'all know how to have babies. Y'all have strength. You are strong. You are made to do this. That was my affirmation. The Most High has made me to have a baby. My body is built for this. I am strong. I am not weak. My child shall live and not die and declare the works of the Lord. Um, um, there is no sickness in my body. There is no sickness in my child's body. This experience is wonderful. We are going to have a good time. I have a great husband. I am honored to have his child. Just bringing good vibes in. Get you some music that you like, that's high vibrational, child. I tell you to get some music from Nigeria, baby, because they're going to have you up and moving. And that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to use a birth ball. I just walked around a little bit. I danced a little bit, and he was coming on his own. He was already in position. He was already determined. Y'all, I'm going to talk to y'all about this baby, but it's going to be on the family channel mostly. Here, I just mostly talk about different milestones throughout my pregnancy and things that I'm doing with my baby, because y'all have been here with me whenever I was going through the struggle. Y'all was here with me whenever I was on baby number 2. You know what I'm saying? So I know that this might be kind of all over the place, because I am a teacher who teaches with side notes. So if you can't follow a lecture that's being spoken instead of showing you things, then it might be kind of hard for you to keep up with what I'm saying. But thank y'all for coming to sit with me, y'all. If you haven't subscribed already, I would advise you to subscribe. If you want to get married, I have a program. I'm going to rename it to Make Them Marry You. That's what it's going to be called, Make Them Marry You. And I have Let's Make a Baby, which is the program where I help you to get pregnant by the will and the power of Yah power. And I also have another one that is called I Bar Y'all Marriage Extraordinary Sex, and that is for you married people out there. You can check into that. My website will be in the description, and it's all over this channel, child. You can find it some kind of how. And also, I want to let y'all know that next month, between the 3rd and the 10th, y'all willing, I'm going to be doing a Zoom interview with Sister Shamika Judah. I am excited, and this episode is going to be called Motherhood, Wifehood, Dreams and Successes. So it's a part of a series that is going to be connected to my blog. The name of my blog is This Blog, The Hunt for Functionality. And the name of the series that I'm going to be doing for this podcast, these podcast episodes, is The Hunt for Functionality. So again, I'm going to have Sister Shamika Judah. She's going to be joining me. And y'all, this sister has 9 babies, and she's younger than me. She is a fine young lady, businesswoman, wife, loves the Most High, functional. Good means functional. Whenever the Father said, if a man find a wife, he find a good thing, that means a functional thing. Okay? So y'all come and check me out. Honey, we improving out here. A lot of them saying that black men ain't marrying black women no more. Honey, we are making ourselves top shelf women. We are recovering from these generational curses and these things that have broken us down for so long, these traumas, these sex traumas. And I also do a sex talk on my podcast. It's called Let's Talk About Sex, baby. You know what I'm saying? We doing it up over here. I'm heavy at work. I got a full life, but I have to work with y'all because that's what the Most High said for me to do. And you know, He opened up doors for me. My whole life story is on this channel. I invite y'all to stay. I invite y'all to learn. I invite y'all to leave questions. Email me, do that. You know what I'm saying? Go through my videos and find what's for you because there is something here for you. I help people get well. I used to be sick. I used to be bald headed. This is my hair. You know what I'm saying? I was overweight and young and sick and smoking so many cigarettes that I couldn't even sing anymore. And I'm not that anymore. My music channel is KARADYAH'S Soul Music. Y'all can look me up if you need a wedding singer, events, parties, concerts, festivals. I'm here, and you can hear me singing over there. And I have a few videos here, but with that being said, y'all, it's been almost an hour, and my phone is about to bunk out on me. Te amo. Te amo, y'all. I love y'all so much. Dawada Rabba, that means thank you extended. For every last one of y'all who came and listened, thank you for the likes. Thank you for, excuse me, super chats that I get. Thank you for people coming and chatting with me. Thank you for the emails. Thank you for letting me help you get your health back online. Thank you for those of you who reach out to me concerning your marriages. Thank you for those of you who reach out to me concerning you being married, concerning you fixing on yourself to become married, men and women. Thank y'all so much for putting your trust in me because you're putting your trust in the Most High, y'all, not your girl. Because the things that I tell you, the Spirit of the Most High tells me. They don't come from me, or either the angels let me know. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna say, Shalom, family. I love y'all so much. Like, subscribe, share this with somebody who is afraid to have a home birth, or somebody who is looking to have a home birth. Tell them to have a little bit of patience with me. You know what I'm saying? But if they can get to the end of this video, it is something here for them. All right. Shalom, y'all. Y'all have a blessed day.